Hisakaki jumps up from her bed. The nightmare she has every night. A dream where she's falling through the sunset. Her rapid heart beats and the headache after getting up have become a daily routine. She's fed up with it already. Even when she doesn't want to, she ends up falling. She falls and falls until it ends. Meteorites might be feeling the same thing, unable to oppose it, completely at someone's mercy. Falling into the sky, or perhaps the earth. Afterwards, the surface of the falling star, hot from its descent, would slowly cool down. A cold end. Much like her inside the dream. Her body grows cold after she falls. Colder and colder, as if she's going to freeze. That's why she lies sprawled out. I was lying sprawled? Strange. Her nightmare should have ended when she hit something. Yet, she just remembered what happened after her collision. Her nightmare didn't end. She indeed fell, but there was more. Where was I sprawled? She carefully thinks back. Amidst the red of the sunset, the only other colors were green and black. Green for the trees, black for the sky, or perhaps the earth. The sky should be red if it's the sunset. Then the black was the earth? She fell onto the ground where there's a lot of trees. Then it ends. Her body freezes over and it ends. Her nightmare ends when she dies. That's why she falls to her death. Her headache gets worse, perhaps from trying to think too hard. She loses her ability to think from this point. She has no choice but to wait for the pain to subside. However, she can still feel that warmth, that sense of security. Being embraced in Yo's arms. Whenever she tries to relieve this pain, she would start feeling that sensation. That memory was extremely embarrassing, but perhaps that's why the pain shifts from her head to her chest. The throbbing pain turns into the rapid beats of her heart. Komomo thinks. Kusame had said, "You should depend on others more." Is this what she meant? Komomo said that the one she relies on is Kusame, even if that's what she believes. Kusame is spoiled, so there are times when Kusame has relied on her. On the other hand, Komomo doesn't think she's ever relied on Kusame before. Maybe it's because of that. What is that? Perhaps she has finally found someone she can depend on, having never relied on anyone before. That might be the reason for the warmth she feels. Komomo raises her head. Her face was red, but her headache has disappeared completely. The throbbing was still strong, but in a pleasant way. Komomo's heart has started to throb like this every day. Yay! Asuho gets up the moment the bell signaling the last lesson for the morning rings. Is the bell your alarm clock?
お腹の虫の方かもしれませんよ。
何にしろ分かりやすいやつだな。
早く学食行かないと席なくなっちゃうし。寒くなってくると中庭で食事ができなくなりますから、ますます混むんですよね。
まあこの時期ならまだ平気だろう。
ほらほら、喋るのは学食ついてからだよ。
I guess so. I'm more worried about Asuho's stomach as opposed to the seats.
あんまりのんびりしていると私たちを昼食代わりにしそうですからね。私は岡泉先輩じゃないよ。
Want to eat this?
知恵の輪なんかいらないよ。
Our usual group noisily leaves the classroom.
小笠坂くん。
For some reason, Hisakaki was waiting for me in the corridor.
遅いじゃない。行くわよ。
She signals me with her eyes. Do you need me for something?
ええ。
For what?
生徒会の仕事。
Seriously?
私たちこれからお昼食べるんだけど。悪いんだけど小笠坂くんは借りるからね。ひばり祭のお仕事ですか？そんな感じね。
おかけんのために写真展の場所を確保してくれんのか？
そんなの議題にも上がってないわよ。
小笠か、話が違うじゃねえか。
I never promised anything.
小笠くん、行くわよ。
Since it's work, I have no choice but to follow. Sorry everyone, you guys can go on ahead.
学食で待ってるね。待ってなくていいわ。いつ終わるかわからないし。
Will it take that long?
ええ、
What kind of work is this?
詳しくは後で話すから。
But don't I get time to eat at the very least?
仕事しながら食べてもらおうかも。ようちゃん。
Well, I guess I have no other choice.
裏切り者。
But I didn't do anything wrong.
お仕事頑張ってくださいね、裏切り者さん。
不運を祈ってやるぜ、裏切り者。
I don't have a choice if it's work, do I?
昼休みの居場所もなくなったようね、裏切り者。
I don't want to hear that from you of all people.
それじゃあ行くわよ。二人で仲良くご飯食べればいいじゃない、裏切り者。
My lunchtime takes a depressing start. I follow Hisakaki out to the courtyard. Hey!
何よ。
We are not going to the SRC room?
誰もそことは言ってないけど。
Under the fine weather, many students are sitting on the benches or on the lawns. Hisakaki finds an empty spot and beckons me over.
ここでいい？
Actually, I'm not sure what's going on.
別にいいじゃない。
I see plenty of problems.
あなたは中庭で昼休みを過ごせばいいの。
What about the SRC work?
これが仕事よ。
What sort of work?
それとも要求にした方がいい？
I don't understand what's going on, but I just have to sit here, right?
そうよ。
After Hisakaki sits down, I do the same beside her.
ついてきてもらって悪かったわね。
Were you lying when you said it was work?
まあね。
Then what's the real reason you've called me out here? A period of silence.
一緒にどうかなと。
She says that with her eyes averted. Do what together? Instead of replying, she takes something out.
あげる。
A small wrapped up object. Oh, did she make a bento for him? Hisakaki's wavering eyes wander up and down. I notice that a lot of students around us have similar objects. Which means... a packed lunch? Hisakaki gives a small nod. What about this?
だからあげるの。
Oh, how nice of her. Hisakaki, you are giving away your lunchbox? A small nod. To me? To test for poison?
毒なんか入ってないわよ。
I was just kidding. This is quite a sudden turn of events. Is it really alright if I have it?
そう言ってるじゃない。
This is getting more and more puzzling.
別に深い意味なんかないわ。
She's hugging her knees tightly.
作りすぎたのよ。捨てるのもったいないし、食べてよね。
She turns the other way with a humph. I have no reason to refuse. I don't know what her intentions are, but I take her up on her offer. I start unwrapping the box. Hisakaki, did you make these yourself?
たまにね。晩ご飯が余った時とか。学食のメニューって種類は多いけど、その分変わり映えもしないから、ずっと食べてると飽きるのよ。
But Kusame-san always eats at the cafeteria.
あの子は好き嫌いないから。
And you do?
そうね。かぼちゃが特にダメ。
So there won't be any pumpkin in this lunchbox?
見たらわかるわよ。
A colorful variety of side dishes lie in front of me once I open the lid. No pumpkin inside. This looks great. You said these were the extras from making too much, but there's quite a lot.
いいから早く食べなさいってば。
Maybe this is how much Hisakaki normally eats. I take a bite. This is great. I take a second, then a third bite.
小笠原くんはいつも学食？
Yeah, I usually eat with everyone else.
そう。
Hisakaki, don't you eat with your classmates?
まあね。
Is it alright to be with me today?
いいのよ。手作りなんだから、男子に食べてもらった方がありがたみがありそうじゃない。
But didn't you just say that they were last night's leftovers?
晩ご飯は家族で交代制にしてるの。ちょうど昨日は私の当番だったのよ。
Really?
そうよ。
I continue eating. However, Hisakaki doesn't look like she was going to eat. You're not going to eat?
うん。あまり食欲なくてね。
Did you lie about making too much?
ほんとよ。それ、全部は食べられないから。
Hold on. Then isn't this your lunch, Hisakaki?
そうよ。でも、今は小ヶ坂くんのだから。
Then what about your lunch?
実はね、さっきの時間、私たちのクラスは調理実習だったの。そこで食べ過ぎてね。
You're lying, aren't you?
ほんとよ。
Cooking is an elective subject for first years only. I might be a transfer student, but I know that much at the very least. I'm giving this back.
いいから。
If you can't finish it all, at least have half of it.
いいから。
No, it's not fine.
箸、それ一膳しかないし。小ヶ坂くんがもう使ったしね。
I'll go buy a pair of spittable wooden ones.
そこまでしなくていいから。
Can I really have all of it?
さっきからそう言ってるじゃない。
Am I forced to give in? You're not feeling well, are you? That's why you don't have an appetite, right? Is it because of the nightmares again?
そういうわけじゃ。
It's for the greater good of your body if you don't lie. You see, I'm rather skilled in the princess cap.
やったら蹴るからね。
But I just took a hit from her knee at point blank range. So, what's the problem? The part about the work was just an excuse, wasn't it? Giving me the packed lunch was also an excuse. Didn't you have something to talk to me about? Hisakaki brings her knees against her chest, perhaps having given up.
私、落ちる夢を見るの。
She says that with a sigh. It's not something as simple as waking up from falling out of bed, right?
そりゃあね。そんな夢だったら悩んだりしない。私はね、いつも夢の中で夕焼けを見ながら落ちているの。空と地面がどっちかもわからない状態で落ちるところまで落ちて、最後にどこかに叩きつけられて、そして死んでしまうの。いつもはそこで目が覚めていた。だけど今朝はちょっとだけ違っていて、今朝だけじゃない。最近夢が少しずつ変化しているみたいで。でもそれは少しなんだけど、私にとっては大きな変化で、全部あなたのせいだからね。
Why is it my fault? So, is there more to it?
人がどうして夢を見るのか知ってる？
I've heard it lets the brain refresh.
そういう説もある。他にはその日に起こった出来事を整理するとか、無意識の願望充足だったりとか、あとは過去の経験をもう一度体験しているとか。
There's a hint of fear in Hisakaki's expression.
授業中この悪夢について考えてたのよ。それでちょっと思いついたの。私の悪夢には夕焼けだけじゃない、草木も見えていた気がするから。私は草木が多い場所で落ちていたから、落ちて死んでしまうから。そしてメアさんが過去の私に会ったことがあるっていう言葉。私は過去あなたのうちのどちらかに会ってる。私が初めて悪夢を買った日だから。二人が子供の頃、私はどちらかの悪夢を買ったことがある。だから私はもしかしたら過去に展望台に入ったことが。
I'm at a loss for words. On the other hand, Hisakaki looks relieved.
まあこんな風に面白い家庭が成り立つわけよ。
Wait a minute, didn't they talk about an accident that happened at the lookout? Maybe the accident was that Komomo fell down from there. Hisakaki.
聞いてもらってすっきりしたわ。小雨が言った通り、あなたに話してよかったのかもしれないわね。
It feels like the conversation is ending, so I hurriedly speak up. How is that hypothesis interesting in the least?
そう？
That's right. I mean, if it were true, wouldn't that mean Mare appears at the lookout frequently? If Hisakaki had met Mare in the past, that would be the most likely location. Hisakaki sees dreams of herself falling somewhere with lots of greenery. It's said that dreams are a replay of past experiences. If Hisakaki had really been to the lookout when she was little...
私がもう過去に死んでるって？
That would raise the question of who this Hisakaki in front of me is, so I'll refrain from saying that. But Hisakaki, you're bad with the lookout, right?
それが何よ。だいたい私、過去に展望台に入った記憶なんてないわよ。
But you've realized it already, haven't you? Why else would you discuss this with me? You went to the lookout and got into a serious accident. It was so significant that you have no recollection of it whatsoever. If this hypothesis is true, that would explain why the lookout is off limits. Hisakaki, why are you bad with the lookout?
知らないわよ。
You subconsciously dislike it, right?
忘れている私の過去が原因ってわけ？
You think it's ridiculous?
そうは言わないけど、死神やら精霊やらよりはよっぽど現実的だし。
Have you talked with your parents about this?
さっき思いついたばかりなのよ。話したのはあなただけ。
Say, Hisakaki, if you find out what's causing the nightmares, you might be able to find a way to avoid seeing them. Your nightmares might go away. Can I help you? Would you rather me not do anything? Maybe I am misinterpreting something. It might be a coincidence. If I start acting, Hisakaki might get affected while she's awake, not just when she's asleep. That would be extremely painful for her.
小ヶ坂くん、あなたはね、私の鎮痛剤なのよ。
What do you mean?
わからないならいいわ。
She says that cheerfully.
悪夢の原因を調べるとして、それ手伝ってくれるの？
Yeah, I still owe you after all. This is where I'll repay you. I'll definitely follow through with this.
納得いかない上に臭いセリフね。
Hisakaki seems unhappy for some reason. Want me to help research as to why you're having the nightmares?
まあいいんじゃない？
She makes it sound as if it's none of her business, but she's given me her approval all the same. Thanks for the food. I return the lunchbox to Hisakaki.
ちょっと残ってるわよ。
I ate half of it.
全部あげるってば。
Have some too, Hisakaki.
食欲ないんだってば。
Just one bite. How can you recover like this? I said I'm going to relieve you of your nightmares, and I meant it.
じゃあ一口だけ。
Hisakaki picks up the chopsticks. Ah, just a minute. I'll go get another pair.
はい、食べた。終わり。
She closes the lid.
これは違うんだからね。
What are you talking about?
ただめんどくさかっただけなんだからね。
Getting another pair was troublesome, so you went for an indirect kiss?
違うって言ってるでしょ。
Well, I'm fine as long as she's feeling cheered up. I return to class after splitting up with Hisakaki in the corridor. Kusame is sitting in her seat while Asuho and Asuka are nowhere to be found. She seems to have noticed me as I approach her.
小ヶ坂さん、案外お早いお帰りでしたね。
Where's Asuho and Asuka?
麻生さんは部室です。昨日聞いた隕石についてのおとぎ話をまとめるとかで。アスカさんは多分都市伝説の聞き込みじゃないでしょうか。
That makes things a lot easier. I try asking Kusame during what's left of lunchtime. Has Hisakaki been to the lookout when she was little?
詮索は悪趣味ですよ。
I failed before I've even started.
姉さん、小ヶ坂さんに悪夢のことを話したんですね。
Yeah, so you knew too?
何がでしょう。
The fact that Hisakaki's nightmare is a result of what happened at the lookout.
詮索は悪趣味ですよ。
Please tell me if you know anything.
詮索は悪趣味です。 それでも詮索をしたいのなら、もっと仲を深めてからの方がよろしいかと。
Kusame-san, please go out with me.
え？
I receive a job.
その言葉、かけるべき相手を間違えていませんか？
But there is no one else I should be saying this to.
仲を深めるべきは何も私とは限りませんよ。
If I become a couple with someone else, will you tell me, Kusame-san?
他の誰でもいいわけじゃありませんよ。
Then who?
えい、
Why are you chopping me?
分かっているのに聞いてくるからです。
When Kusame smiles at times like this, I can truly see the dark side of her. Kusame-san, are you hiding something about Hisakaki's nightmares?
なぜでしょう？
You were the one who told me the reason why the fence was erected, that it was due to some accident. If you know anything, can you tell me?
詮索は
Bad taste, so that's why you're keeping it a secret?
隠したくて隠しているわけじゃありません。小ヶ坂さんに話しても今はまだ意味がありませんからね。
Is that how much faith you have in me?
例えば姉さんが私に尋ねたとしたら、私は答えたくなくても答えるかもしれません。
So the only way is to ask Hisakaki?
ですが姉さんは私に何も尋ねないと思います。
Kusame seems lonely when she says that.
私と姉さんは双子のせいなのでしょうが、普通の姉妹以上に通じ合ってしまうんですよ。姉さんが私に聞いても答えてくれなかったと誰かに言った場合、それは最初から何も私に聞いていないことを示すんです。姉さんが質問しようとするだけで、私はなんとなくその内容を察してしまいます。そして私が少しでも答えづらい素振りを見せてしまうと、姉さんは質問をする前にやめてしまうんです。これを聞くのは私にとって辛いことなのだと姉さんは納得して、それ以上は決して踏み込んでこない。姉さんは私に対して残酷なほど優しいから。だからこういった類の話は私が自分から言い出すしかないんだと思います。私がわからないはずないでしょ。あなたの双子の姉である私に隠し通せるわけがないって言ったでしょ。何を悩んでいるのよ。何があなたを苦しめているのよ。お願いだから話してよ。別に今すぐじゃなくていいから。だけどいつか必ず話しなさい。だからもし小ヶ坂さんが私から話を聞き出したいのでしたら、方法は一つしかありません。小ヶ坂さんと恋人になる相手が私も大好きな人でしたら、私と小ヶ坂さんの距離だって近くなる。そうなったら話しづらいことであっても話してしまうかもしれないと思ったんです。小ヶ坂さん、どうしますか？
It's not something I can determine alone, is it?
いいえ、小ヶ坂さんだけですよ。
Isn't love supposed to be mutual?
ですからあとは小ヶ坂さん次第だと言ったんです。
Because she knows that Komomo is already in love with him? Kusame raises her finger and says with a hint of triumph.
姉さんは脈ありですよ。双子の妹の私が言うんですから絶対です。